back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
And here's Lewis. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now a play fake here on first down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there right off the bat. 48 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 23. From nearby Norcross, Georgia, it's Alvin Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And we'll see the second half of their dynamic duo in the backfield, and that's Alvin Kamara, who in 2017, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about this? Over 1,500 total yards and 13 total touchdowns in a debut performance. Expect more of the same and probably a little bit extra.
Breeze to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Now Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Well, of course, you want to find the end zone, but, you know, you go on the road, you get 3 points. I think you take it.
Yeah, pretty good start to the day for them, don't you think? Right? You go out there, get the 3 points. Now, look, it's not going to silence this crowd, but it might take a little bit of steam out of them right off the top.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And now it's third down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
What I love about Cameron Jordan's game is that it's so varied. He can play the run so effectively. Also rushes the passer, and at times he'll run with a receiver downfield. You name it, Cam Jordan does it, and he does it with some flair.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guys going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 15 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And a nice gain at 21 yards. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That one goes for 24 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Now Ryan on first down. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. Able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, Ryan, and that's incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And Watson has it right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And his throw here is incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. The quick slant caught, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin at Bank of America Stadium. Cincinnati in town to take on Carolina. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. Devin Funchess, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head up to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Alex Collins dancing his way to a couple of touchdown runs. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. In that game, level as they take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys are out in front. As we send you back over to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now Ryan, throw left side complete. It's Jones. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. Nice move by Lewis. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Where we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And Watson has it right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll run it with Kamara. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So a little extra time to ponder this 3rd and goal as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They go with a fullback line. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw is Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, Ryan. And now another one thrown incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Hey, let's go.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Ryan now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Ryan. His throw incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Now Ryan on second down. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll come out in the pistol. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Breeze is looking to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A give. This is Kamara. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Back to throw, Breeze. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here we go with Kamara. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he did get there. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Here's Ryan. And his throw is incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here's Ryan. That's incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. Bree's going to throw here. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Cameron Meredith with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints add on to their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Again, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. There he goes inside the 30. Wide open receiver complete. And finally taken down at the 15. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Coming left is Kamara. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Again, it's Kamara. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. He's going to get it running right. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. One last shot for Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Saints, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.